Hi guys, and welcome to my first ever Speedpaint, my first ever video. This is very exciting for probably me most of all, but you can probably hear my computer screaming at me because my fans like to go crazy. But so this piece I actually didn't record any of the sketching or line art process, mostly because it's a redo of a really old piece that I had originally done for a series, but as I put off the rest of the series, the art just got old and I decided to completely redo them. And I actually did a lot of the sketching and line arting while I was on my breaks at work rather than at home or anywhere where just straight recording it would have really worked. So you all get all of my highlighting and shading and rendering, basically, instead of anything else. But so, God, my computer. So this is actually a tarot card piece that I'm doing for my friend group's D&D campaign. It's called the Heralds of Hamalild. It's a completely homebrewed campaign using a mix of 3.5 and Pathfinder that our DM has put so much time and thought and consideration into. This is one of our druids. This is Hawthorne. She belongs to my roommate and friend Flossfinine on Twitter. So the way I chose the different arcana, because I'm doing major arcana for all of our player characters, that's the word, to fill out, and eventually I hope to actually make a full tarot deck for the Heralds of Hamalild. But Hawthorne here is the sun, so I actually chose these based on the persona, like the Shin Megami Tensei persona descriptions of them, rather than pulling them from any actual tarot deck or description. So if these might be a little bit off, that's why. I actually started looking more into tarot recently. This video, specifically this piece, was done, I think, almost a year ago. So since then I have delved more into tarot cards. I'm actually going to be doing a whole other set for a whole other campaign with more, I guess, quote-unquote official, but I guess they're all up to interpretation, so there's only so official you can go. So the sun basically is, it usually symbolizes happiness, joy, accomplishment, usually associated with one's initial happiness over their happiness going forward. In Shin Megami Tensei games, the characters of the Sun Arcana usually find themselves in terrible situations, usually with the underlying optimism of the character, because characters of the Sun Arcana tend to be pretty optimistic despite the terrible things that life throws at them. It's usually deep thoughts about life and why things happen the way they do, and approaching the accomplishments you want and going for them. Hawthorne, originally, when I did the first set, I actually had done her as the Empress because I got an idea for the card before I thought about any of the meanings behind the cards, and later when I was redoing them, the Empress just didn't suit her. It's not really her card. The sun definitely suits her a lot better. The Empress was later given to a different player character, Ijona, who his card is actually finished. It's at the end of this. But, yeah. Wow, it's a lot harder to talk for 10 minutes than I thought it would be. The other thing with this set of pictures is it was a challenge for myself to start going into more detailed outfits and such. You can see here with mostly lace and accessory detail more than anything. I don't really do too much heavy detail in my normal work. I don't have the patience for it normally, and actually I think Hawthorne's probably has the most amount of detail just because of that dress that I did there. Oh boy. It's a good thing I'm putting music under this. Yeah, just because of the dress I've got there that I chose for her. I actually grabbed it from an actual photo set of outfits that I've probably reblogged on my Tumblr somewhere, and I added a couple of elements that I liked personally. The outfits, because the only two I've finished besides Hawthorne are the Empress for Ijona and the Hierophant for Cell, both of which will be at the end of the video. But neither of them, I didn't have outfits picked out for them. None of the other cards have had quite as clear of a picture for me as Hawthorne has. Not because they don't suit the card I've chosen or because there's any issue with the characters themselves, but just because some things will jump out clearer when it comes to art more than others. You can see I actually have also two different color sets for Hawthorne for this card. Just because originally I had her with so much blue, but I think the original dress that I had reblogged was red, so I decided to kind of mix it up a little bit and try to put some more balance color-wise. I'm not talented at color theory. I don't quite understand color theory. I do my best, but, it never really stuck. I just kind of pick what colors I think look nice. I ended up printing this off for Lex later, and she had preferred the red, so we ended up sticking with the red. I think I posted both of them, but it is what it is. Hawthorne is also the only one who got the double color scheme. Again, just because it was the first one I did, I had the most clear idea of what I was doing. And you can see I have a whole bunch of layers there. I'll do these on my iPad too, which is why the layout is very portrait rather than landscape. My next couple of videos will be the same, just because I didn't think about the fact that they would be portrait like that. The next time I record something on my iPad, I'll definitely be doing it in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Watching my old art, watching a speed paint of my own art, it's one thing to have gone through the process myself already once, but it's been so long that I don't really remember the process that I did. So it's nice to kind of watch it all happen all over again in front of me. See-through clothing is so difficult to get just right. I think I had so many issues with that. I think when I went to recolor it for the reds, it caused me some problems because I had so many layers for just that skirt, just that area of the skirt, that I had to go back and be like, all right, now I gotta do this, now I gotta recolor this line art, now I gotta change this, I gotta change the color of the glitter that's in there, of the sparkles that are in there. So yeah, there's Hawthorne, there's the blue version, and there's the red version. This version ended up being the one Lex wanted printed, like I said. But yeah, it was a very successful first tarot card, and now I have just a bunch more to do. And there's Ijona and there's Cell. Obviously, I think I only added my signature on Cells for some reason. But, it is what it is. I'll go back and add them in. These are just for friends for now, so I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day or evening or whatever, whenever you happen to be watching this. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Have a good night. Bye.